Who is Lady SB? Well, we're all finding out thanks to her involvement in something as serious as a human trafficking ring.
5 people are now facing multiple charges, and one out of those 5 people is Toronto rapper Lady SB.
What is coming out about all this? We're about to dive in and get straight into the juicy details. Not only was Lady SB involved in this, but there were 5 people involved in this human trafficking ring. This is wild. From going viral on many interviews to falsely accusing her ex of mistreatment of a child while admitting that she openly lied in an interview and calling CPS, to now human trafficking accusations. It's not looking good for her.
Rapper Lady SB arrested as part of a human trafficking investigation.
Right now, Lady SB has a following on YouTube and a following of 57,000 people on Instagram. She has a few interviews and articles out on the internet about her music. She's been linked to various other artists. In the past, she's talked about being friends with Drake. She said he's a very respectable and doesn't say anything out of pocket ever. I personally haven't heard any of her music yet, but it looks like she was an up-and-coming artist who is in the midst of building a fan base of her music and modeling.
Okay, give me keys to the big body. Okay.
In one of the many music articles about her online, it says Lady SB is not afraid to be herself and wants her listeners to do the same. In her own words, I want my listeners to embrace their true selves unapologetically and pursue their own happiness, knowing that we'll always have opinions regardless. In her own words, she said, I want my listeners to embrace their true selves unapologetically and pursue their own happiness, knowing that people will always have opinions regardless. Well, now she's arrested for human trafficking. She's super good looking, but they really did her dirty with that mugshot.
I'm yours for the summer, wanna drink until we drunk, I'm choosing you, baby.
We're gonna dive in and talk about the details of her case and what life was like for her before these accusations happened. We wanna bring back the community on this channel. We have giveaways and contests coming soon. For now, let us know in the comments who to do next, and if we pick yours, we will shout you out. Now let's get into the video. In May 2024, the HRPS began an investigation into human trafficking that was operating in Halton region in the Greater Toronto area. Police allege that between September 2019 and September 2024, the accused parties used coercion, deception, manipulation, physical mistreatment, and psychological mistreatment to maintain control, direction, or influence over the victims. During the course of the investigation, 5 suspects were identified. On September 17, 2024, the HRPS gave 5 criminal code search warrants at various residences in Brampton and Toronto. The 5 identified suspects were arrested and the following items were seized: a loaded firearm, ammunition, and a prohibited magazine, a large sum of cash, a vehicle seized as an offense-related property, victim identity documents.
I was a kid. Even now I listen to it, you know?
Yeah.
Love Nicki Minaj.
Lady SB has been charged with the following offenses: trafficking in persons, receiving material benefit from trafficking persons, receiving material benefit from the commission of the purchasing offense, procuring exercise control, knowingly advertising sexual services, withholding or destroying identity documents, assault with a weapon, possession of prohibited or restricted firearm, breach of firearms regulation, possession of property obtained by crime. Apparently, Lady SB is very well known in Toronto. In an interview with Adam22, Lady SB expressed interest in Adam and his ex-wife Lena, but Adam said if she wasn't interested in filming adult videos, it wouldn't happen. In the past, Lady SB actually went viral because someone asked her if she was a telly ting, and she got super offended. I guess we know why she might have gotten offended now. She's not the one working the telly, she's doing the recruiting. She said if the people who were making the rumors up were standing in front of her, if she were inebriated, she would punch them in the face, but if she was sober, she would probably laugh and clown them. There was another clip of her going viral in the same interview with Adam22 for basically saying she lied and called Child Protective Services on her ex and falsely accused him of mistreatment of the child. If this is true, she's a horrible person. In her own words, she said, I called child services on my ex because he pissed me off. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this person. You know, cheater, POS. So like they went to the door and there was a whole process. I don't even know if the children AIDS worker still visits them, but she probably does, because what I said, the way I AI'd that story, you know, like real AI. She then went on to brag and say, we're seeing stuff that your kids were being abused. You could lose your kids. And I was just like, that sucks. She said, I called child services, fabricated everything and like faked bruises. She said this while laughing, finding great entertainment in this. I'm sure it's so funny to the real victims of abuse. The people who are struggling with stuff like this in court is because of people like her. Men who are falsely accused of this are destroyed for life, whether they're able to prove they're innocent or not. And accusations like this, unfortunately, they stick to people. I'm sure the majority of us find this disgusting. To be honest, she actually deserves to be locked up for this alone, let alone the human trafficking charges. Let this be a lesson to all of us to really pay attention to what partners we get involved with. It's hard to see if someone is this awful off the bat, but pay attention to red flags and really find out who you're dealing with. Before these accusations even happened, she was already getting a lot of hate on her IG. People were calling her music trash and garbage for weeks before we heard about these two incidences. I want to end off by giving you some signs that someone might be a victim of human trafficking. Not being allowed to speak for themselves, not having control of their own money or cell phone, suddenly having a new or second cell phone with a secret number, being controlled by others, escorted at all times, not being allowed to contact family or friends, withdrawing from family or friends, providing rehearsed answers to casual questions, being secretive about their activities, showing signs of abuse such as bruising, cigarette burns, fractures, etc., having a new boyfriend, girlfriend, or friend that they won't introduce their friends or family to, having new items like clothing, jewelry, etc. outside their financial means. If you do suspect someone is being trafficked, here's what you can do. If there is immediate danger or you suspect someone is being trafficked, call 911. You may also call the Canadian Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-833-900-1010. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch this video. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed any juicy details. Click like and follow if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment on who you think we should cover next for a chance to be called out in the future videos. I'm your host, Jessica Chin King. Have a fabulous day.